So, I don't know about you guys, but I have been trying to find sources of inspiration at this beginning time of 2020, and I'm being challenged. I'm being challenged, and so looking up the word inspiration, I go to my little dictionary on my phone, right? I always have to look up words so I'm really clear on the meaning and am I using them right? And the thing that popped up was the word of the day. Now, this is interesting. The word of the day was alembic, Alembic, and it means anything that transforms, purifies, or refines. Now, isn't that interesting? Anything that transforms, purifies, or refines. Now, the reason why I find that interesting is here I am looking for inspiration to talk about inspiration today. And the universe puts right smack in front of my face a word about transformation and purification and refinement for inspiration, right? To inspire me. And inspire means to fill with an animating, quickening, or exalting influence, to be filled with that. Okay. So the reason why alembic is interesting to me and why I felt inspired and animated about it. The beginning of every year, most people claim they're going to be different, right? They're going to eat differently, behave differently, all that stuff. And alembic is about refinement, right? Refining. So in order to transform, it's just amazing how the universe works. In order to transform ourselves from the inside out, whether you're changing your eating habits or the thoughts you think, right? We have to refine what it is. We have to first purify what it is we're thinking and feeling, right? And to me, that means getting the garbage out of your head, right? Getting those negative, dark thoughts that you have about yourself. Everybody does. So you're not, a horrible person if you have dark thoughts about yourself. Okay, I'm telling myself that. But to get those thoughts out of our head, to really purify how we think and feel, okay? Not just how the body operates by drinking more water and fasting or making healthier choices of what you eat or drink, but how we think and how we feel when we think those things. So if you are one of those people like me who has judgmental self-thoughts, negative self-thoughts, like, why did you do that or say that, or how come you're not being that, right? Then purifying those thoughts, really kind of beginning to take a better look at them is a good idea. And and I had a client come to me who was going through a similar thing, which happens all the time. We are all going through very similar things. So, again, we're all unique, and yet we're not, okay? Because we're all one. And so I heard very clearly, make a list and write down those negative self-talk things so you can get them out of your head. So you can, Dumbledore it out, and put it in the pensive, like in Harry Potter. And I thought, I have to do that too. The exact thing I was going to suggest to my client, I have to do too. The thinking that shows up in my head when I'm not thinking, right? When I am not paying attention to being a vessel, a conduit for spirit, and I'm just reacting as a human being. Nothing wrong with reacting, only unless it becomes harmful to yourself or others, right? So that's the purifying. Then that's why we need to purify our thoughts in alembic. We need to be alembic and purify our thoughts. And then there comes a place of refining those thoughts, right? So I'm very judgmental right now about the weight I've gained. I'm just giving you an example. Anybody else out there raising your hand? Okay, I hear you, feel you, see you. So I'm judgmental about the weight I've gained during this pandemic because at the beginning, I allowed myself to have comfort food that I'm really not supposed to eat anymore, like pasta. And then as the weight started to begin to pound on, right, I just started to ignore it and did more of that same behavior. And then at the end of the day, or actually at the beginning of the next day, when I'm trying to pull on my jeans, I was having so much negative self-talk about what I just did the day before. And today I'm not going to do it until that night when I open up the refrigerator or the cupboard and, well, you know, I could really have one more piece of that thing I'm not supposed to eat. And so then again, so see, it's the behavior and the thought form that was causing me to stay in that groove of behavior that was not loving, kind to myself, to my body. And then the thoughts start coming in that are not loving and kind to myself, to my emotional and mental bodies, right? So to be alembic, to really begin to transform, we all need to become conscious of how we are thinking, what we're believing, and then how we are reacting. What is the action we're taking from all of that? And then the self-judgment that creates shame or guilt or blame within ourselves is the thing that undoes our empowerment. It's the thing that kind of chips away at the foundation of our courage, strength, empowerment. So I'm bringing this up on a show that is about inspiration because I really want to inspire y'all, and me, to be more kind and loving to ourselves internally, to really breathe that breath of God, to inhale that thing that animates us, that transforms us, that quickens, which is another word for life, that allows that life within us to quicken, to grow, to expand. And that also means our consciousness, right? So baby steps in becoming alembic or practicing an alembic practice of transformation and purification and refining is important. So doing those little steps to bring us into a place of clarity, into a place of courage, into a place of self-love and self-care. And lots of self-care is being battered around out there. Oh, I didn't mean battered, batted, but maybe it is battered. I don't know. And then are we really doing it? Are we really acting on it? And the self-care is different for each person, right? So it's not a one size fits all. Just because, you know, your best friend is doing yoga 5 times a day, you should be, right? Or just because, you know, an acquaintance, you know, has decided to go vegan doesn't mean you should, right? It's empowerment, inspiration, being alembic is different for each individual. So it's really important to take time with yourself to do whatever your spiritual practice is. If it's journaling, ask yourself these questions. What do I need to transform? Or what do I need to purify? Is it my thinking? Is it my body? You know, what do I need to refine in terms of maybe it's how you treat your spouse, you know? Are you refining it? Are you treating your spouse with loving kindness or with irritable quips? You know, really becoming clearer, as clear as we humanly can. And then intentionally choosing to raise your emotional and spiritual vibration to a higher place. Okay? To a higher place. And the reason why I bring this up, on the show about inspiration is because I know I'm going through it. And if I'm going through it, I'm sure everybody's at my party going through it, right? So today I had so much fun having a conversation on Diane Dewey's podcast called Dropping In. It's on Voice America. And we were just having a great time. And it was after a heavy rain here at my house. And I was looking out my window and there was this spectacular rainbow over the houses in my neighborhood. And it was just gorgeous. As I'm watching that, Diane said this quote that just gave me chills and activated my energy systems in my body. I got inspired, animated. There was a quickening. I was like, wow, that's so cool what you just said. So this is a quote from Abdus Salam, who was the 1979 Nobel Co-Prize winner in physics for his work regarding black holes. Okay, ready? Hopefully it hits you the way it hit me. He said, the deeper we seek, the more is the bedazzlement of our gaze. I feel it now. I feel that energy. The deeper we seek, the more we go within and look within ourselves, the more is the bedazzlement of our gaze. That's how profound the universe can be. As I'm looking at this bedazzling rainbow, right? And Diane is saying this. So that's a feeling of inspiration. That is alembic. It transformed me in the moment. It opened me up. It refined my energy system because all of a sudden the energy was moving through me in a very positive, powerful way. So anyway, inspire, to fill with animation, a quickening, an exalted influence, alembic, anything that transforms, purifies, or refines. And because I'm talking about this, I want to invite all of you to join me. We are relaunching Are You a Light Leader workshops. And the first one starts February 15th through the 19th. And we're offering it as a 1 hour, for 5 days, 1 hour every morning on Zoom. Are you a light leader? And I take you through a process to excavate the garbage and begin to see within yourselves where you've been blocking yourself from being that light, and then setting intentions on how you can come out even better than when you started the workshop. It's simple, it's deep, like going into those wormholes, but I think, sorry, I had to cough. But I think when you participate in Are You a Light Leader workshop with me, you will have more of a bedazzlement about yourself. You'll see yourself for who you truly are. And this first one is for anybody who has not done the workshop with me. You can register starting February 3rd, which has already happened. And go to susanburrell.com. We'll also have the registration link in our show notes. And you can register and then join me on February 15th to begin that journey. And if you're listening to this podcast and you have already participated in Are You a Light Leader with me last year in our Facebook group, Live Your Empowered Life, join the group. If I haven't said that, join the group. But those of you that already did it with me last year, we are building. I am upscaling. I am calibrating. I am bringing in a Light Leader 2 workshop. And that'll be in March from March 22nd to the 26th. So if you've already done it, hang on. Let's let some other people come in and do the Are You a Light Leader 1, and then we'll all join together in March and do Are You a Light Leader 2. So that's our show for today on inspiration. But even better, alembic. I learned a new word today. How about you? Yeah, life is good when we focus on that. Life is good. And so it is. Namaste.